What's up, YouTube? We're back with a video like I promised. I know it's been a couple days after the last one, but we are here. I had to do some cleaning up, get some stuff ready here in the shop, but we're just gonna go over some of the stuff I've been working on and why I've kind of been missing. So I had some health issues come up, some pretty serious stuff. I had to have pretty major surgery, open heart surgery to be exact. So that kind of took a toll, and I wasn't able to really get out here and do a lot of working on stuff. Now, I did get out here and turn some wrenches. I just couldn't be out here for hours on end, obviously, putting in work. But we will talk about what I did do while I was out and kind of where we're going from here. So let's, this will be kind of like a vlog style video. We'll just go around and kind of look at some different stuff, and we'll talk about where we're at on some of these projects. So first off, let's talk about the 300ZX. That's the one people ask about the most. And let's take a look at it. All right, so here it is. You can see we have the top of the manifold, upper portion of the intake manifold removed. So we can go ahead and get to the injectors, which are already out, as well as the fuel pressure regulator, which is at the front of the motor here, and we have it removed as well. So we can get those both replaced to try and finally finish up the fuel system on this motor. While it was apart, I also took a air chuck and blew air back through the return line just to verify that it wasn't plugged and it was clear. So I have the new injectors, I have everything to put it back together, and we'll get this back together and hopefully we'll get it started. We also, in the meantime, I did check for spark. I have spark, so that's not an issue. Literally, I think the last problem we're running into is the fuel injection system with the fuel injectors being plugged because it sat so long. There's also a real horrible noise coming from it, which I've done some research, and it is this vacuum pump. This vacuum pump controls a bunch of different stuff on this car because it has all this electronic stuff, and it's kind of, you know, it's an older car. So instead of everything being electronically activated, it uses vacuum. These control the headlights, these controls all kinds of stuff, and that's making a bunch of noise. So I'm trying to source out a replacement or how to go about get that either fixed and up and running again, or what we're gonna do. Also, when we were under here, I originally didn't intend to take the front of the motor off, even though I probably needed to anyways, because I do have a new water pump for it, and I have a timing belt. The last time it was serviced, when somebody serviced these coolant hoses and they removed all this stuff, they put this hose clamp here in the wrong position. So I had no way of getting these two, you can see them here, these two bolts that held the fuel pressure regulator on off at all without pulling the entire front off. But we got it off, it's done. So now we just gotta kind of get out here and get it back together, get it timed right with the new timing belt, water pump, injectors, fuel rails, everything I got to replace, put back together, and hopefully this thing will turn over and start. So that's that for the 300ZX. Let's move on to the next. All right, next is our Polaris RZR 2019 Turbo. So on it, the reason it's getting worked on is it had a really bad parasitic battery drain. And for a year, it was fine. I hooked it up to the tender. As long as it was on the tender, it kind of maintained it and it wasn't an issue. Well, fast forward, eventually this was gonna happen. The dual batteries that I have in here, it didn't get hooked up to the tender one time. We went on a cruise, we were on vacation, we were gone, I don't remember where, but we had been gone for a period of time, and both of these got drained so flat that I cannot bring them back to life. I've tried. So, and they are expensive, they're Odyssey batteries. So we're gonna replace both Odyssey batteries and then go with a whole new system in terms of switches instead of rocker switches, where I had this aftermarket fuse panel in here that ran everything, ran all the accessories. We're gonna get rid of that and go to this, which is just a switch panel from Auxbeam that has a digital box that controls everything in terms of relays. It's a lot easier, it's a lot more efficient, more reliable, and plus it'll look a lot nicer having this switch panel inside the cabin as opposed to just rocker switches that somewhat seem to always fail. You're going off-road, they're getting wet, they're getting nasty, they're getting muddy, the thing gets washed out inside. So we'll get rid of that, and then we will actually go to that, and it'll work a lot better. So the next project is up here on the lift, which is our Integra, our right-hand drive Integra. I've done quite a bit to it in the meantime. So we'll look here. We redid all the back brakes. Just OEM stuff with Stop Tech pads, just a light upgrade, nothing major, but it's a little bit more stopping power, plus the rear brakes were in really, really rough shape. Up here, you can see, we also did steel braided lines. We did all Meagan Racing adjustable bars for camber, because this did not have camber adjustment and I was wearing tires really bad. So now they are adjustable. So we did that, obviously got a 4-wheel alignment. Then up front, same thing. New sway bar end links, they were pretty bad. We did new axles, the axles were nasty. I had a vibration under throttle, brake lines, and then up here there are Meagan Racing's upper control arms with adjustable upper ball joints, and got that all aligned so the camber and everything's all good up front. Drives a million times better, no more shake. Just a lot better driving experience. So we did all that and got it done. It was a challenge getting it aligned for a little bit. Since it is a JDM vehicle, all the alignment shops wanted to look it up with the VIN number to get all the information. And of course they couldn't. So that was kind of a fight until I found a place that would actually just do it based on stats. Like, we all know what they need to be set to. It's fairly the same across the board in terms of camber and caster. And once I got a shop that was willing to do it, they did it, and it's been amazing ever since. And then if you look down here, you will see that the transmission is out. So when I bought the car, the clutch was pretty rough, but I got some adjustment with the clutch and got about another year of life out of it. Well, it finally just died. It went out. I couldn't even drive it. Under load, it just spun up in RPMs. So now we're going to replace the clutch, and we're gonna do just the exedy factory replacement. So we'll look at that. Okay, here we are on the driver's side, right-hand drive, obviously, so driver's side. You can see same placement up here, obviously is the other side in terms of bushings and all that we changed out. So got the transmission out. I've already done some of it. I put a new rear main seal in it because the old one was leaking. Obviously, anytime you have these out, you might as well do it while it's apart to save yourself some time and some hassle. I did have a little bit of problems getting it out on my own. I should have asked for help, but we know how it is. I didn't. So the transmission didn't come out as easy as I was hoping it would. This right here is the reverse light switch harness. I did unplug it. Well, it got hung up on something when it was coming out and it tore. And over here, you can see the wires for the speed sensor. It was still plugged in. I forgot to unplug it. I'm so used to newer cars having them in the hubs. And well, it ripped out of the freaking plug and I mangled it pretty good. So I got a new plug with about 6 inches of wire on it, and we will cut and splice it in and get it back to good as new so we can get it back in the car and hopefully get it on as soon as possible so we can get back to driving this. I've been driving my truck. Now down here, the spindles, I do have new lower ball joints for those so we can get those in as well. But yeah, in terms of these projects, that's kind of where we're at right now. If you come over here, I'm in the middle of getting the flywheel back in the car. This might get really bright. It's like 104 today in North Texas. I have the flywheel out in the sun baking. And then over in the freezer is the bearing. So I can get it pushed into that because obviously it's such a tight tolerance. It's hard to get it in, but once it's frozen in the freezer and heated outside, it should just drop right in pretty easy. All right, so that's kind of where we're at right now. There are some other small projects that we're doing. I have some wheels. I mean, I've talked about this in the past. Let's see if I can get this pointer right here, but they're over here on the bench. I'm trying to get those refurbished and get going, so I'm still working on those. I just got to strip them, paint them, and assemble them. I have everything to assemble them. They're 3-piece wheels, so I have that. I also have, like, you know, and just other projects. I have a freaking doghouse over here I'm building out of an old console TV. That's almost finished, so I can get it back down, get it done, and get it sold on Marketplace. And then obviously, you know, these projects here, both wagons, same situation. Really haven't touched them, but I have been buying parts, getting stuff ready so that hopefully we can eventually work on them and get those going. Then also we have the RX-8. It has not sat by the wayside either as well. We are working on it in terms of learning. I don't know anything about rotaries. I've never touched one. I know nothing about this car. I know that it was my buddy's car before he passed, and I want to make sure that we take every effort possible to get it done and built the way he would have dreamed to have it done. So I've been doing research, looking at parts, and we're finally at a place where I think we can make some purchases, probably buy a motor and start getting this car together. I've already spoken with the powder coater about the wheels. I want to make sure I had the right guy to do that, to get the right color, get the hood refurbished, because obviously it's carbon fiber and it's extremely faded. Here, let's look at the car. Yeah, so here it is. I know we've seen it before, but we can take another look at it. But we are getting stuff going, we're getting stuff ready, and we will get this car back on the road sooner than later. I really want to enjoy this car and drive it. My buddy, this car meant the world to him. So we're going to do it justice and get it done the way it needs to be done and get it done properly. But this car will be on the road. It'll be screaming in no time, I promise. Also, on the Integra, it had the Anki racing wheels on it, which weren't really the right fitment for a Honda. So once the camber was done, they rubbed a little bit, so I didn't like that. So I went ahead and got these Rotas, which are they're that Type R knockoff wheels. Say what you want about Rotas, man, it's my daily. I just drive it to work. I'm not trying to track this thing. I'm not trying to do anything stupid with it. So we'll get these on the car. I think that'll be a lot better look. The fitment's better. And since it won't rub and the camber's right, if we want, which we probably will, we can probably go a little bit lower. So that's that. Anyways, guys, that's about all I got right now. I appreciate y'all bearing with me and sticking with the channel, those that have stuck around, and to all the new future subscribers. But we're gonna get some stuff going. We're gonna turn some wrenches. We're gonna get some stuff back on these cars, get them back on the road as always. Maybe some new projects coming, I don't know. We did order my wife a brand new vehicle. As soon as it shows up, we'll talk about it and go over it. It's gonna be super nice, it's gonna be fast. And then, you know, we got some aspirations, R34 maybe, I don't know. We'll see what we can swing. Anyways, thanks for bearing with me using this new gimbal. I don't know if I like it. We tried it. Learning curve, right? Learning curve. We'll figure it out. But thanks for coming along the ride. I appreciate it. As always, like, subscribe, share. Man, those likes especially, they go a long ways. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers. It doesn't seem like a lot in the grand scheme of things, but look, we got to start out small and we'll get big. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks a lot. We'll see you later.